Cool. We should be live. Welcome back. This is the T.A.P. True Army podcast. It's a sad day for America. There was of course, the news spread around the world. It was an assassination attempt against former President Trump while he was doing a rally. And, my heart was broken. I mean, I was really sad. And although I'm a Trump supporter, I believe that if the same story came about when, let's say for Biden, I would be equally upset, equally hurt, because I don't want our country to divulge into a third world country. If you look at other countries where if you don't like the political opponent or something happens and you see these people running for office and they getting offed, that's not what we want in our country. So I'm gonna bring the floor open. I just want to make clear we ain't politically debating. If you come in here to hear us argue, that ain't happening. If you come in here to hear every factual detail on the account, it's not. We just gonna pull up a few things, give our views on it, and call it a day. So if you want that go to a different channel, because I believe it's way too early to start saying this is exactly what happened. We're gonna go based off what we see, give our opinion, and go from there. So, of course, we got my man Derek back. It's been a while.
What up? What up? Back.
So, without further ado, I do want to start off with an interview that actually for somebody firsthand. So I'm going to start off with that.
And watch and listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up, and probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling the police and the Secret Service?
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful, because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Okay, we'll go back. Let's see here. All right, so from his first-hand account, from pictures we've been seeing online, videos we're seeing. Again, we don't need to play the video. There's plenty of places you could go watch that. What's the first thing to come to mind when you see that, guys? Just we'll go from the video, then we'll go to his interview from firsthand, what he saw.
Probably what's taking so long for Secret Service to react.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that could be anybody else, that wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
When Obama came to UC,
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff, but you couldn't, there was no way that anybody gonna be bear crawling on a roof.
Right.
Matter of fact, Secret Service, they're usually on the roof.
Right. Exactly.
Like, there's really people around him, all around the speed. Snipers and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, it just seemed vicious, like they knew he was there. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be careful, because I hate to go down the conspiracy theory aisle, but it's giving that vibe, because I seen Obama back, and I put this in the chat. I seen him back in '07 when he was a senator. And he came to Wright State when he was, campaigning. And I want to say he got assigned Secret Service detail just because of the threats he was getting, being, like a very prominent black man who was running for office. I mean, you couldn't come in there with nothing. I'm talking like they checked every single person. And like you said, for somebody to be low crawling, to just imagine somebody was able to get up in the rafters and sit there with a weapon. Like when I was in Afghanistan, President Trump at the time, when Trump was president, he came over there. And it was for Thanksgiving, and he went to one of the DFACs, which is a dining facility. And when I tell you it was on lockdown, we couldn't drive our vehicles over there. We couldn't. I mean, the whole base. It was like I didn't hear no alarm go off from people attacking us. I mean, it was so secure to the level that you wouldn't imagine. And they usually come out like weeks before and do their detail, where they go over there. They're kind of researching angles. The president just don't go walk somewhere that they didn't already plan and know every angle of how he could get attacked. That's a clear thing they go through. Like if the president go to the mall, they already know, hey, you gonna walk down this aisle. This is the best way we're gonna protect you and everything. So to see and hear from the interview that somebody had a rifle, people are seeing it, but somehow the police are not seeing it. The security detail, there people are yelling. I mean, it's like
the crowd shouldn't be saying that the first time.
Exactly.
That should be coming from Secret Service. Should have popped in and slowly.
Yeah, they should have pulled Trump off the stage. Once somebody says about the rifle, they should have been like pull him off. And again, this isn't no matter what side you are on the political spectrum. If Biden was up there, they need to pull him off. And there was an interesting article, and I'm going to bring it up, just a viewpoint, that a while back they were considering removing Trump's Secret Service detail. There were Democrats who were actually pushing for that. And I believe once you're a president, you should have that detail the rest of your life. Yeah, but they were trying to remove it. Just imagine if he didn't have a Secret Service detail. He'd be dead right now. It was,
but he damn near did now.
Yeah.
That dude was entry to the right.
Yeah.
I mean, is this the detail that he paid for? Do we know any of that?
I don't know if it's
like personal.
I don't think it was detail he paid for. I believe he's appointed the Secret Service detail.
Okay.
But I just feel like that we watch this and we all just say, man, and I think what I hate to see is the people online with such visceral hatred towards Trump. And it's just like, man, look, do I like everything he say? No, but I don't like everything Biden say, but he's still the POTUS. He's still a man. He's still a husband. He still has a family. He's still a person. I may disagree with him politically, but I would never, ever be like, he should have been 2 inches to the right. I would never say, I couldn't live with myself to even think like that. And to believe that people are going online and it just being like so angry, like, oh man, he staged this. And it's just like, you're very cynical when it comes to this, but other things, it's like, it's surface value. And I just feel like that this is a sad day for America. I don't care where you stand.
And if that person did pass away, those for their family and anybody else that was hurt.
Yeah.
Even the people that witnessed something like that.
Yeah.
And I always fear the thing too, because I wouldn't know what to do if somebody next to me died like that.
Just going to a rally.
That's lifelong.
Yeah.
Trauma I have now. So.
Like somebody actually died. Like
somebody died.
Yeah.
They never innocent.
Yeah. And you remember when President Obama was running, remember the biggest fear, and I can't speak for everybody, but I remember having like, man, I don't want somebody to hurt him. I was like, man, I don't want somebody to be so radical that they're going to commit violence towards them. Like it ain't that serious. Remember on Inauguration Day when him and his wife got out the car and they got out the secured vehicle and got to the section, and it was just like, all I kept thinking like, man, I hope they watching the roofs and God, it's sad that we live in this type of world that we have to think that way, but we do have to think that way. There have been assassinations, so we have to be protective and they have to operate under this. So when you see something so out of the ordinary. If somebody low crawling with a weapon for several minutes, and the police are like, what? Like, what's going on? Huh? And again, the person could be lying. I don't know. You know.
Yeah, if I'm a cop and I saw that dude, I probably wouldn't. I would have waved him off too. Like, man, watch out, bro. He was kind of, the red.
But it was multiple
That's
people.
First view.
It was a multiple people who were saying that though. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's their job to get up there and do that. But I feel like, I don't know, like are we in the age where this is okay still? Like this campaign trail stuff, is this no longer cool? Because I mean, with the amount of technology and weapons we have available to us as just citizens and the ones that are getting the black market, is this a good idea just going around having these out in the public podium speeches? You know what I mean? Like, are you bringing this possible, incident on your own life? Are you bringing it on yourself?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like that, like I said, with the way the security detail is done, it's done to a degree where it mitigates those risks. Like I said, when Will went to go see Obama, you didn't go in there and just walk in there with anything. It was more strict than if you went into a basketball game. Like they have so many things in place to protect these people that, you're not going to be able to just do that. You're not. I mean, you may watch the movies and see them do little weird stuff. Man, you ain't pulling that off unless. And I mean, this was so blatant. I mean, that's like literally, let's say if the president came and did a speech right here, but somebody's on a roof 60 meters away with a clear shot at somebody speaking here. Like, you mean to tell me you're either the security is that bad and they all need to be fired, or there's truly a setup and somebody trying to set him up. That's all I'm saying. It's something.
Something is not right. That's the first thing I got when I first saw it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna read this too. Hold on.
Seemed a little staged to me.
It just felt staged.
Felt staged.
I know we don't want to do it, but it just felt like that.
Yeah.
Let's see here. And this is from
If I just got shot at, I'm not raising no fist up in there and get me. All right, it's time to go. Yeah. I'm up through. Yeah. Hold on, guys. Yeah.
While they're in the middle of them rushing me off the stage.
Yeah.
And this is a statement that President Trump posted on his True Social. He said, "I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for the rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I know immediately that something was wrong and that I heard the whizzing sounds, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through my skin. Much bleeding took place." When I see it, I just think I'm like, much bleeding took place. So I realized then what had happened. God bless America. And, pull back up here. See here, there we go. But I don't know. I think the only argument when it comes to being staged is that if that's the case, man, somebody died. It wasn't a BB gun. I mean, I say, is it an inside job? Is it planned? I can rock with that. Stage to me seems like a farce. Like, I'm ducking, nothing happened, nobody get injured. I get a little blood on me from my fall. But this feels like I can see an inside job. If we're going down the conspiracy route. Why he raised his fist? I don't know. I mean, to me, I've been in a position where I had a gun pointed at my head. I was robbed at gunpoint years ago when I worked at AT&T. And I feel like that if anybody who ever been in a situation like that, you really don't know what you're going to do. Like, I was trying to remain calm and be cool. You don't know what you're going to do. You could train for years. You don't know. I worked in a war zone, and I've heard alarms go off with bombs and felt my vehicle rock when that V-bed blew up the whole wall. It's easy to say what somebody would do until you're in that situation. So does that seem like bad to me? No, it seemed like a defiance, like a cue to whoever tried it. And adrenaline's rushing, blood's going. Who knows? But like I said, I feel like unless you've been in a situation like that, it's really hard to say. Like I said, I remember when I got robbed at gunpoint, I had coworkers coming to me. It was like, I would have shit a brick if I was you. I would have did this. I would have did that. How did you do that? And it's just like easy, like, well, my training, we did this, but it's just like, man, at that moment, it was life preservation. So teach his own, but I just think, when I see stuff like this, and I got to pull it up because I even had some family members, pull this out and, hopefully it show up in a little bit, but it shows, what's his name? Jussie Smollett. The images, it's live here. It's behind there, but it shows Jussie Smollett. Yeah, faking it or whatever and stuff like that. So I tell myself, I say, man, I just think if you believe that, that's fine. It's just extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. That's all.
And then the guy, the pictures they had up of the shooter, the 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Like those pictures like this, I think what they had. They're 20.
Yeah.
In 2024.
Mm-hmm.
You have no pictures like updated. Because them pictures look like they were from like the 90s.
Look like they was created.
They were created.
Yeah.
There's it doesn't look real.
Uh-huh.
That's what I'm saying. Like more evidence that comes out, and all of a sudden you have this perfect video camera can crawl on the roof. See that one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, man. It's just I don't know. It seems very.
Yeah, like the hand cams. I seen Rizza Islam posted a thing and I love it, but he says, be silent. No matter who wants you to speak, be wise, be silent, wait. Of course, he has the brain, think. And I think it's really the best position to have, which is why I prefaced our video that we ain't here to debate. We just going off surface level and giving our thoughts. It's easy to go down a a rabbit hole of, man, this happened, that happened. Man, who the fuck knows? I tell you this, if it comes out that this is staged, whoever is involved, from the lowest person to the highest person, I don't care if you're Donald Trump, you should go to prison. Like somebody lost their life.
Yeah. For sure.
Your mic not on? Can't hear us? Let me see here. Hold up. You can hear me. Go ahead, talk in yours.
Yo, can you hear me?
I can see yours going up.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, talk. I can see your voice thing going. Just sometimes you're a little low when you talk. You said all of us? Fuck it, man. We going, man. We here. Just turn up the TV. Shit. Turn up the TV, man. I don't know what to say. Yeah. But
Android.
yeah, they right. Yeah, probably watching on a Fire Stick, the old one, first model and shit. This little Michigan hotel. Probably staying at the Red Roof Inn. Enjoy. Hold up, man. I can see cracks coming right now.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It just don't. Some don't seem right. Is all. Yeah, just don't seem right. And for the shooter to be prone in that position with a somewhat of a sniper rifle or of that sort, and to get 3 shots off and get a little bit of the ears, it's hard to swallow that one. You know what I mean? Like, pause. Hard pause on that one. But yeah, so it's just fishy.
It is.
So I know what really happens out here is we get caught up in this he say, she say, what happened, this and this and that. And that's what they want us to do. Something is happening out here. Something is moving behind all of this. And I think we need to maybe pay attention to what's going on in our country right now. And do what you got to do to take care of yours. Because something's happening. I don't know what it is, but something's happening.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's a perfect time. It's a perfect timing for Trump. If that was the case, because of the felonies and all of that stuff, he has to figure out, because that took a lot of his votes and a lot of his following. So this was like a perfect way to like gain that love back that he had. So,
man.
I mean, come on, man.
I mean, if that's the way you want to get votes, man, that's scary.
You gotta get out.
Yeah, like I mean, to me, that's the next level beyond crazy. I don't care who you are, right? You know, like if I came to your show and I lost my life, my wife lost her life, or somebody or anybody, you know, just because you're trying to get votes, like at the end of the day, when Trump lost the first time, I had my reservations about it and things I thought, and not going into conspiracy mode, but never did I sit here and wish anything bad for the other candidate, like for Biden. I was just like, you know what, man, I respect the position. You know, at the end of the day, I'm gonna eat regardless who's in office. Like that's my thought process. You know, so I just don't want this type of behavior to become the norm. And I feel like this needs to be fleshed out, like every detail. I just hope that whoever is actually involved are not the ones who are investigating it, because we're not going to get the truth. You know, if you look back at the JFK assassination and how many reports was done and how like just some surface level stuff done, we look at it and be like, man, something ain't right. You remember when JFK was pulling off and the Secret Service kind of looked back, was being told to get off the vehicle and they had like special things for him to be on, to be like right there with the president. So he looked surprised when they told him to like turn around and come away, because he would have been in the line of fire, which is what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, they even get hit before.
Exactly. So, you know, when you look at that, you say, man, it seemed like a conspiracy theory. When you look at a lot of assassinations of great people, Malcolm X, we don't just say it was one brother having a bad day that killed him. We think it's a conspiracy behind that, somebody that wanted him out here. Same thing with Dr. Martin Luther King. You know, it's like at the end of the day, it makes martyrs out of people when you do stuff like that. You know, because it's like now, and it's not saying these people are perfect or whatever, but now people are going to start looking and think like, man, why would somebody be that angry to even want to do that? Regardless, if I disagree with Joe Biden right now, man, I'll be mad as hell if somebody wanted to take a pop shot at him. Just imagine if somebody would have did that to Obama back when he was running. Just imagine a backlash, and imagine the people who's like saying Trump should have been a few inches to the left or right, to the right. Just imagine if somebody would be saying that about President Obama. Just imagine like the hatred they would get. They social media would get shut down. And I've like literally told people online and commented like, do you literally realize what you're saying? Like you're literally wishing this person died? Like if somebody died behind, like what if that was your family? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, this channel isn't an echo chamber. We don't come in here and agree on everything. We've had debates where, you know, hey, we agree to disagree. We walk away, but we know the core fundamentals. We take care of our children, take care of our family, we go to work, we try to be good citizens. We may disagree on a few things. That's fine. But in no way, shape, or form does it be like, man, you know what? I want to commit violence towards you because you don't agree with me on this subject. Like, man, we don't think like that. Like that's not a civil place. Nobody want to live in that. But if we divulging into this type of energy and behavior, what kind of society we created? We're no different than a third world country that does that.
But are we already past that though, with the amount of mass shootings that we have?
I mean, I don't know. I
think that shit could sell as far as being some type of, if you want to say, different from third world. I feel like we got a lot of issues that's worse.
Yeah.
I mean, combined in the world, we have more mass shootings than any other country. If you add them all together.
Yeah, I think that with the mass shootings is, yeah, I think mental illness is on a trajectory that we downplay so much, and I think a lot of it could be tied to food and all that stuff. And I think both political parties are very bad because they always complain about stuff like that, but you don't see them really do anything about the food that we have readily available that is not allowed in other countries. I think mental illness is a real deal. And like I said, I blame a lot of what we eat, food and the water, and not make excuse for it because, I heard some activists say, well, you should take away guns. It's like, you could do all that, but somebody who wants a gun is going to get a gun. Yeah, somebody who wants to commit violence don't need a gun to do it. If you right now got super mad and pulled out a knife, we gonna be fighting for our lives.
The guy that mowed down with his car.
Yeah,
He mowed down that whole
that parade. Yeah,
that parade.
Yeah.
And killed like 12 people. Like, you don't need a gun.
Yeah. So I just think that, are we divulging far from a third world? We're not that far. No, but where we are is still something that people break their necks to get into this country. People sit here and I mean, like, the southern border crisis is happening because people want that American citizenship. People come over here and immigrate illegally and illegally because they want that citizenship. They want the benefits. They see the opportunities. And, I still believe what we have is worth fighting for and worth building. I just think it's a scary dynamic because it's a slippery slope. I just feel like, just imagine if, I think you got a little son, right? Like 3 years. Let's say he get older and he want to run for president, and if somebody take a pop steps at him because maybe he differs from the norm. Man, we don't want that world, man. We want our kids to be able to run. If you lose fairly. You win. Do all politicians lie? Yes, they all do. I don't sit here and pretend like they don't. But that shit right there, to me, you're not going to hear me get on this platform and blame Biden and saying that he trying to put a hit out on Trump. Like that to me is equivalent to saying Trump is behind this. Like, it's just so bold. And the type of evidence you would need to support that is next level. Is something fishy going on? Yes. Does it need to be investigated? Yes. But I feel like, as Brother Islam said, we need to be careful with what we say and how we say it, just because this is such a history moment, which is why what we discussed talking about, we changed, because shit, man, like this is going to be looking at 30 years from now. A president tried to be killed. Huh?
You got that perfect picture. Fist up, flag in the back, waving.
That picture was perfect, bro. That was perfect.
Look,
that's my profile pic, man.
I'm just saying, like, 1 minute you got Secret Service surrounding you, and you trying to be covered up. And the next minute you're like, no, get down. Hold on, I get my shot.
Yeah.
Something is fishy. Something is fishy. Yeah. But to speak on the people that wish that he was, a couple steps to the left and everything, I think an issue with the mental illness is the fact that we are so desensitized with death because we see it every single day. It's in the video games that sell. It's in the movies that sell. Anything that we intake, it's in the books that sell. I mean, anything that we intake has some type of tragedy in it, sometimes mostly revolving around death. So I think when it comes to situations like this, they just see it as another story, and they're, because it doesn't affect them directly. Mm-hmm. So no, it's not right for nobody to think that way, but just they've been intaking so much information that gives them not the right, but it gives them that space to be able to look at it like, oh, this is just another isolated incident. I mean, it's not like they killed him, you know what I mean? So
right.
Maybe they would have had a different, song and whistle if he would have actually been hit in a more detrimental place. It would have still been some out there.
Yeah. He actually Trump got killed. Mm-hmm. People would be still ignorant online.
Yeah.
People gonna do it. But I agree with you here with the community being sensitized to it, because we live in like a virtual reality, not actual reality. You said earlier, Drew, like, this is a dad, this is a son, this is a, you know what I mean?
A human being.
One thinks about it.
Yeah.
You are what you are online. What people see, even when people do the RIPs and stuff on Facebook and all of that stuff, and that, like, they're like talking to the person on their page and the comments. in a weird way, it desensitizes you from death because it's like you don't have to deal with it directly.
Mm-hmm.
Just to post a RIP
Mm-hmm.
on social media, then be sitting here looking at, you know,
Your body, paying respects, talking to your mom or something.
Like how it used to be.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the whole point of like having like the dinners and stuff after for everybody to talk about it. But now you do everything online.
Yeah,
Move on to the next thing.
just like how I seen a viral post of a young lady, beautiful lady, girl who's gone missing, and people are sharing it, and I was just thinking like, man, just think how disconnected, and not that it's a problem with sharing it. Yeah, I just feel like that, like you said, it's just like that. Just imagine the family that's actually going through it. It's like, let's look at it from their perspective. And like you said, and that's the same thing with death or anything. I agree with you 100%, Derek. We so desensitized to things, and I agree with you, Will, too, that even if he did get killed or you know, people downplay the graves or whatever, but let's just say, you know, if he really was shot, people will still be ignorant, and that's both sides of the coin. You know, if it was Biden and somebody, you know, we may agree on some things, and I heard you say some stuff like that, I'd be like, bro, I can't mess with you, because there's a such thing as being too extreme. To, you know, I consider myself a moderate because I understand there's some liberal aspects and things that I agree with, as well as there's some things, conservative things I agree with. I talk to a lot of people where we agree on a lot of things, and most times it may come across as conservative, but we may vote differently. That's fine, right? But I think universal things we should agree on, man, is that once you open that door to violence, once you open that door, it's just, it's like a pendulum that just will keep going. And I just think that I just don't want our kids, grandkids, great grandkids to live in a society where it's just like, I'm gonna inflict violence because you disagree with me, and be that disconnected. You know, I just read, seen a girl got killed, church's chicken employee got killed from an argument with another woman.
Right.
Just think how desensitized you have to be as a human being to kill somebody who's preparing your food, to let them bother you that much that you kill them. Just like you said, but that's the world we living in now, and it's only going to get worse. Yeah, world countries are, right? Yeah. So is it the food? What is it? I don't know. I mean, that could be a whole nother video, but
I'm thinking it is social media.
yeah.
And us living in this virtual reality.
Yeah, social media is the new religion.
Yeah.
We see so much violence and negativity and stuff like that seeps into your brain.
Mm-hmm.
Like I see there's videos that come down my page like fighting and shootings and killings and all this stuff, and it's like I don't even really like react to it.
Right.
Anymore. I've seen it so much.
Right.
But if my parents were to see it, they're like, oh my God. Like they'll be like shocked. Because they came from a world where if they saw that live, they would have real human emotion. I feel like this virtual reality stuff, like our emotions aren't the same.
Yeah, we're the society of quick to I seen a video of this fight. I sent it to Tony, but it was this fight in the gym. It was two dudes fighting, and anybody who works out know there's a lot of equipment in there, and there's a lot of things that if you hit something wrong, you could, that's it. And all I was thinking was like all these big dudes, all muscled up, sitting there with their phones, watching. And I said this to Tony. I was like, man, don't just make you afraid for our society that nobody stopped, broke them up, got in between them. It wasn't like they was fighting with machetes or something. Cause yeah, I'm gonna let y'all figure it out. You know what I'm saying? But you know, they was throwing fists, and these weren't like big guys. You know what I'm saying? Where it was just like, or they was just that masterful. Where like, you know, they was hitting everybody that came up on them. But it was just it went on for so long that I just it is terrifying, because, and my brother Dre made a good point, and we don't have to belabor this, but if we look over at China, they block stuff at the ISP level, which is the internet service provider, for things that they allow their children to watch. They don't allow their kids on TikTok. They don't allow their kids on a lot of things, have access to this stuff that just brainwashes them and manipulate them. But we have such an open society that we just be turning blind eyes to things. But you look up and your kid don't watch. I was just looking, not bad parenting, but my YouTube was on downstairs, and I was trying to key up some videos, and I was like, damn, what's all this in my history? And it was all like these kid videos, and I was just like, damn it, you know. So now I got to go down there and retweak it because she's supposed to be on the kids' YouTube. But it's just sad that, you know, it's so readily available for them, you know. Yeah, it's hard, you know, because now I got to look through and see what shorts he was watching, and then go off on her like, hey, well, why would you watching that? You know.
Yeah, again, I'm stuck as a parent. Like, if I try to hide it from them, is that still creating like a negative result?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, Dalen knows not to cuss.
Mm-hmm.
But if I try to hide cussing, and I try to hide certain content from him, and then he's gonna seek it out even more. Like, that's just kind of like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But he knows what cussing is, but he would never say it like in front of me. So it's kind of like I'd rather him know what it is and know that it's wrong.
Did you used to curse like with your friends?
Yeah, behind my friends,
Yeah, but you never, like, your parents didn't hear you, you
Yeah.
talking like an angel.
But the difference is respect.
Right.
I made sure they couldn't hear me.
Right.
These kids now, they don't care.
Right.
Like I think I was at a restaurant and these kids were just cussing. It was elderly around and all that. They don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Man, even if you wasn't my parent,
Mm-hmm.
if you were an older person, like an elder or something, I would never cuss around you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know you from nothing.
Right.
But just that respect,
Right.
man, they don't have it. So that's why I'm like, should we hide it?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're gonna get to it.
Mm-hmm.
One way or another.
But it's a slippery slope, man, for this country. I think if we see what these third world countries devolved to, you know, it's like where were those key moments in society where people probably was like, hey, we need to make some changes. I'm wondering, like, if we're there, like you said, if when I go places and we're thinking about, man, I don't want to be in a mass shooting. I don't go to a lot of places because of that. When I got robbed at gunpoint, I literally don't go a lot of places just because I be thinking about that. When I go somewhere, I'm always sitting in a certain way to see who's coming in, see who's exiting. And it's what's crazy is I have more comfort and security working in a war zone than being in my own country.
People don't think about it.
I was cool over there. Everybody had weapons, and you knew, like, people didn't just argue, because if it escalated, somebody was gonna die because you was walking around with a fully loaded assault rifle.
That was the one guy that got killed. He was in the army or something. He went over there. He survived like the most hectic war zone that we had and came back here and was shot, killed.
Yeah.
Survived 3-4 tours.
Yeah.
Of bombs and what's the one? Landmines and all. Got through all of that. And
Came back here.
To your own country.
Uh-huh.
And you get killed.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Scary world we live into. It's you know, for YouTube world, it's a sad day for America. Again, no matter what side of the political spectrum you on, we weren't going to delve in to like try to say who's right, who's wrong. We was trying to distance ourselves from the conspiracy theories. But here's the thing: if more information come out, man, I'll be happy to report on it, and I'll be happy to give my opinion at that time. I just think as of right now, what Brother Islam said, just be silent on coming to conclusions. Let's just watch it, let things play out. But if you don't have an inquisitive mind and you're just looking at the surface level, you should really go in the mirror and check yourself. And if you're one of those people who's on the extreme saying Trump set this up, or on the other side of the coin saying that maybe Biden set this up, then you equally need to go look in the mirror. But hey, thank you guys for watching. If you find value, hit the like button, hit the subscribe. Had a Moach watch video past time, man. Like 2,200 views. So I found out some tips to be able to make that work. So now I know what to do. So it's hard to do it for live, but post. I know you guys are going to be watching it. So until next time, guys, see ya.